evening.
Good evening. It's evening already. It's dark outside, so we can call it what we want.
And we're here in a basement, so who knows what the weather's like outside.
That's what I like being down here. You don't know what's going on outside.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Could be snow. Could be a desert storm. A sandstorm. That's what they call them. Anyway, I'm here with the absolutely wonderful Stephen.
Thank you.
Yes, you are known for many, many, many things, but one of them is your baking expertise. But you mentioned to me that there was one small incident which could have changed your career.
And don't get me wrong, there are lots of incidents that could have changed my career, but this one just is stuck in my head. But we are going to loop back later to these other things that I'm known for, because I want to know what you think I'm known for. But this particular cake, or this particular experience with a cake, taught me a very valuable life lesson. So years ago, well, not that many years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I had been invited out to San Francisco by the Santana family, who, if you don't know, Carlos Santana was and still is an incredible guitarist from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way through to today. And his niece is a friend of my family, and she was getting married. And I had been asked to make her wedding cake. And I was flown out to San Francisco to build this cake. I made it at my aunt and uncle's, and it was a beautiful 3-tier wedding cake. Good old classic wedding cake design, covered in flowers. Not too difficult, but it was in a different country, so I had to just get my head around cups and ounces and stuff like that. But once I got past that, everything was fine. Morning of the wedding, the cake was driven in 3 parts to the San Francisco Bay Yacht Club, where the wedding was to take place. And I got there, I built the cake, I just stacked the layers on top of one another, put some flowers on it, and Bob your uncle. There was the cake done, ready to go. And I have to admit, I remember thinking, well, that was easy. And I left the catering company to sort of work around the cake to, get the dining room ready. I went down to join the wedding party downstairs. And it was outside that I heard what I thought was a lorry or a truck going past. And I remember thinking, gosh, that was loud. And I went back into the club. I must have been going to use the bathroom or something, I don't know. But on a whim, I went back into the club where the owner grabbed me and said, "You might want to check your cake." That was an earthquake.
Oof.
I don't think it was quite like the sort of the 1989 earthquake, but it was enough that it made him nervous. So all the cutlery had been shaken and the glasses had fallen over. And I went up with my heart in my throat, thinking, please, no. I had no way to repair it, remake it. Ooh. And I got up there to find that it had in fact shifted. So each tier had shifted and moved. A lot of the flowers had fallen off, and there was a little crack on it. But I got away with it. I was this close. Had the table been on the outside wall, it would have toppled over. Everything was working in my favour, and I did think that the gods were shining down on me. But after that incident, I look back now and I think I should have put a dowel rod in the centre of the cake and supported the cake. I shouldn't have been so relaxed about it. I was so chilled. I thought everything was going smoothly, and you know what? I cut corners. I did cut corners, and the San Andreas fault that runs across California, north to south, is responsible for the earthquakes. And that fault was sending me a clear message that day, which was, I am more powerful than you, and you ought to be a little bit more prepared, and you ought to build better foundations and secure yourself and take every precaution in life, and then you can stop and enjoy yourself. But if you don't, then I might just come along and ruin your day by shaking your cake and destroying that poor girl's wedding.
Wow. Well, thank you for that.
And you can apply that to everywhere in life, whether it's your pension for your future, or your education, or a relationship, or a friendship. Put the work in, build those strong foundations, and then walk away and enjoy it. But if you don't build foundations with anything in life, the chances are an earthquake could come along and topple it and ruin your day.
Wow. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
For that amazing story, amazing life lesson. And we've learned that also it's all Andreas's fault, and that Bob is the name of your uncle.
Indeed.
Yes. Thank you very, very much. All right.
Thank you for listening to me, Ronnie, and the wonderful Stephen Carter Bailey this time, talking about stories and the messages behind them. There was one small thing that came to mind. When we recorded this, we recorded 2 versions. First version was a great story. Second version was a great story with a wonderful message. Now, this is often the power of storytelling. We tell stories because we want to tell them, because they're interesting, because they're fun, because they're exciting, because they're exotic, because they sound good. And then often the message comes along afterwards. It's a really powerful thing that we can all use in our own lives. Thank you very much for listening to me, Ronnie, on the World is Storytelling podcast, named after the book by the same name. Follow and subscribe to keep up to date with the weekly episodes. Thank you very, very much for listening.